everybody. I'm your host, Jaime Soretta. On this podcast, we celebrate everything local. And I want to introduce you to an Arizona native who really celebrates two things that are special to most of us. We love our coffee. We also love our local makers. So may I introduce Stephanie Vasquez of Fair Trade Cafe and Amor Collective. Stephanie, hello.
Oh, thank you so much for having me here today.
I said you're a native. You know I love our natives around here in Arizona. Tell me about where you were born and why you love Arizona so much.
Yeah, I'm born and raised here. I grew up in the West Valley in Maryvale. Went to ASU and really just watered my roots here in Arizona.
Yeah, I love Arizona. I wanted to grow and do something cool in Arizona. Some people grow up here and they just want to move. What was it about your roots here?
It's the family and the community and also the opportunity. If we look at how incredibly fast our city is growing and changing, and just to be part of all of that is really exciting for me.
You were a teacher?
Yes.
For how long?
Well, I taught in the Fowler School District for about 8 years and absolutely loved it.
What grade?
I taught middle school science, so 6th, 7th, and 8th grade science.
You became a business owner, and I find that a lot of teachers become business owners. They have unique qualities. They can create a space that lights up the imagination. Mm-hmm. They have I can do it attitudes. Tell me how you think teaching created a lot of opportunities for you as far as knowing how to get things done.
And I think that's exactly it. Teachers are so very resourceful. And when you think about it, your audience changes. I mean, I had hundreds of students in one day. So it's like just being ready on your toes for whatever comes through the door, you know?
Yeah. And you changed from teaching into coffee. Mm-hmm. What was it about coffee over at Fair Trade Cafe? You were one of the first businesses to move onto Roosevelt Row. Yeah. So first, let's talk about why coffee.
Really, coffee at the time didn't have anything like near and dear to my heart other than like it was necessary every day.
Yeah.
However, through some travels, I just learned the ecosystem of Mother Earth, our consumption, and the impacts of just kind of how it was done and the negative impacts on the earth, on our people. And I just thought, like, I'm feeding into this problem. What can I do about it? Like, what's a solution? And I think that's really where the entrepreneur spirit just lit up in me.
Really?
Yeah. And so I combined that and, all my experience in teaching. And I was like, let's just figure this out.
I mean, you could have come home and wanted to start a fundraiser, but you went all in on this. Yes. What was it that just triggered you so?
Well, I think just when you start learning about something, I didn't want to be surface about this. Mm-hmm. At the time, sustainably supplying coffee wasn't something that was big. We're talking 2006, 2007. Yeah. When we're looking at, compostable goods, those aren't things that you would find here yet. Yes. So there was this big problem, and there wasn't necessarily a platform quite in the mainstream market. And I just thought, you know what? Why not? Let's just try this and let's do it in a way where it draws people in. So, also having that community space was very, very important. It wasn't just about a quick cup of coffee. Mm-hmm. However, you can get that if you want to. Yeah. But the seats are super comfy. The spaces are really cute, So it was kind of like, how do you do all of these things in one?
Yeah. So you created that space using that teaching experience, probably creating a space where people would feel cozy, maybe want to read a book, study, do their work, whatever they needed to do. And you chose a location on Roosevelt Row. Tell us where Fair Trade Cafe is located.
Yeah, it's right on Central and Roosevelt. And I feel like I didn't choose it. It chose me because I was really out in the West Valley because that's what I knew. I was in the West Valley. So that's where I was looking to open something and stumbled on an opportunity in downtown Phoenix where I knew no one.
Yeah. So what was that like?
Hard.
Yeah. I imagine.
Yeah.
So how did it find you?
Yeah, it was actually previously a coffee shop that was owned by the Trinity Cathedral, and they were running it as a nonprofit with volunteers, and it wasn't doing very well, so they were going to close its doors. And I heard from a friend of mine, so I just went to go take a look at it. I think it was on a Friday, and I took over ownership on a Sunday and started running the business on Monday. That's not the way I would suggest people do things. I did a lot of things the wrong way, and this is why I mentor now.
Very interesting. And you were really focused on where you're sourcing your coffee beans from. So when you took over this coffee shop, you went ahead and made sure it was Fair Trade Cafe. What does that mean?
So Fair Trade certification, it ensures you that all of the coffees and teas are purchased ethically, that the people that are picking the crops, they're being paid fair, they're being treated well, there's running water in bathrooms and lunch breaks, kind of like those things that we just kind of expect. That's not the case there, that there's not children and elderly people working in horrible conditions, and because that is what's happening. So 100% of all the coffees and teas that I bring in are fair trade certified or direct trade certified. And the difference is that when it's a direct trade is that you have a direct relationship with the farmers. And so with one of our beans, we do.
Wow. And you've been in business there for what, 16, 17 years?
16 years.
Wow. Yeah. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
And how fun to be a landmark in the community that has grown up around you.
You know, there was times when people were like, Stephanie, Fair Trade Cafe is the pillar of Phoenix. And I would shy away from things like that. However, after hearing all the stories and what the shop means to other people, not through my lens, through other people's lenses, I proudly own that we really are a staple here in Phoenix.
Yeah, and you think of there's an apartment complex right next door. Yeah. I always end up over there when I go to the markets like Phoenix Flea. Yeah. I stop by and grab a little snack. I think I had a peanut butter cookie. You guys have peanut butter cookie? I'm pretty sure there was a.
They're so dangerous.
I do. I remember that day. And so then you became an entrepreneur. And you let go after 2 years of being a teacher and entrepreneur. You let go of the teaching.
I did. It was very difficult.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned that you still mentor and teach today, because let's talk about Amor Collective, what you just created. It opened in August. Oh my goodness gracious! You brought so many great spirits together.
Oh, Amor is a magical place. It really is. And we've been open now for 5 months. And to see the growth from August to now, I've never in any of my businesses experienced growth like this and support the way that we have.
Isn't it funny? Because, well, I feel like we grew up in this idea of women pitting against each other, being pitted against each other. And you walk into your space and you've got women supporting each other. We did a story together, and during commercial break, one girl's shopping in another girl's area. She's trying on jeans. There's a whole consensus on whether or not the jeans look good, if we size up or down, what we should style with it. And you just have that girl power and support of each other.
Yeah, there really is this element. We don't compete with one another. And I feel like that is something that is very rooted in what the nonprofit EYA. And so the nonprofit EYA is what brings on the Amor Collective. However, this is such a community of supporting women. And it's like you said, you came in and you were there for a short period of time and you quickly just got it.
Yeah, I wanted to be friends with you. I'm like, can I just I want on the group text. Yes. I don't care if my phone is always blowing up. I want in. Whatever this is, I want in.
Yes.
Yeah. So it is very accepting, loving, kindred spirits, people who are excited to be there. So let's explain what Amor Collective is, because where are you?
For sure. So we're at Park West Mall right now, and we are over 30 Latina brands all in one space. So this is a true incubator space for startup businesses and growing businesses and businesses that want to scale. So the idea behind all of this, so we're going to kind of back up just a little bit. So EYA, the nonprofit, brings on the Mujeres Mercado.
It's ELLA.
Yes.
And that stands for?
Empowering Latina Leaders in Arizona. But EYA also means her in Spanish. So it's got double meaning.
Well done, teacher.
Thanks. So the Mujeres Mercado is the largest outdoor market for women. And so what I was seeing is that, okay, so these businesses are coming in on the weekends and on nice weather in Arizona, and they're able to sell their products, learn about their brands. But what happens Monday through Thursday? What happens when it rains? What happens when it's triple degree? You know, your business basically stops. And looking from the lens as a business owner, I just thought like, okay, what is that space in between pop-up and storefront? Because it's a lot of money that's right. It's going to bridge that. So I just thought, you know what? We need a collaborative space where we can test our brands in real time in the mainstream market. So this is where that idea about what came from. And also, like, research shows that success is compounded in communities. So it's just like, okay, so this was a brainchild idea to open up the Amor Collective, and it's working.
And it's working. Tell us how many different things we'll find in there. How many makers do you have? And all kinds. I'm wearing one of the bracelets right now as I was getting ready. I've had a bracelet on ever since.
We have matching
saw
bracelets.
you guys.
Yes, the red one. Yeah.
So yes, it's the little red thread, which is what is supposed to bring what?
Protection and abundance, and that's from Magma Jewelry.
Magma jewelry.
Yes.
What else do we have there?
So, I mean, really, any given day, so there's 30 brands in there right now. So you're going to get anything from fresh flowers to incense, coffee, spicy candies, clothing, and everything in between. So with the businesses, so many businesses there, you get a huge array and an incredible shopping experience, but also they're in every single week changing their items. So I will warn you, it's a dangerous place because you will always find something different.
Go on payday. When you're a little more flush. And with a list of maybe some upcoming birthdays.
Oh, yes, there you go.
Because, you can fill in those holes of, what do I need? I need to add this in and whatnot. You can find a lot of different things at different price points, which I always appreciate. So you can grab something for $5.10 and you can go bigger and higher if you'd like as well. Your daughter works there too, right?
She does. She does, and not forcefully. So Nadia, she recently got her master's degree at Thunderbird.
Wow.
And she was planning on working for a large corporate business, and she had an internship out of the country, and she came back very clear that she really, her heart was at the local on the local level. And she was like, this is great. These large businesses are great. However, she's really focused on smaller brands. And so she has taken over. She's our brand manager for Amor and for Fair Trade Cafe. So if you're seeing the marketing, all that is Nadia.
Okay, which you brought a photographer with you today. So kudos to Logan. That's probably some of your daughters doing. I tend to tear up a little bit on this podcast, and it hits my heart that your daughter likely saw Mama loving and supporting local so much, and she wants to be part of that. So you're growing that with her. And then you also said your space is an incubator space. So while I can maybe be a vendor in your space, that's not all I'm getting.
No, not at all. I mean, and it comes at lots of different levels. So we do monthly marketing so the businesses can come in, bring their products. We bring in professional models, photographers, videographers, and we give them the opportunity to create content on their own. So it's high level content, high level marketing. We have business classes. We have a monthly meeting with all of our businesses. We have networking events. So when I say incubator space, I'm looking at it from the lens as a woman who has grown her business over a decade, and what are the tools that I could have used early on that didn't have access to because my business wasn't making enough money for those things. Right. And then when you look at it collectively, we can afford to have professional videographers, professional photographers, great content and creators. So it's a group effort. Yeah. It really is.
So I know people must be thinking, how can I get in? I've got this product. How do I get in?
Yes, there's no secret password. There's an application. There's an application online. Now, I will say this is very much so of an inclusive environment because I get that question a lot of times. Well, it's my husband. It's not me, or we're not Latina. That's okay. That is okay. However, it was founded to create a platform for Latinas, but it's very much so an inclusive community.
For the learning and growing and the lessons.
Absolutely, yes.
So talking about learning and growing and lessons, I like to ask on this podcast, before you make the jump, when you make that jump into going out on your own, you're thinking, I'm going to turn in my 2 weeks or whatever it is soon. What do you want people to know who's pursuing a path similar to yours or aspiring to be in a position like yours today?
Even when you say that you're about to put your 2 weeks in, my heart kind of goes pitter patter because I understand the feeling. I was an independent mother of two, as a teacher. And even though we understand teacher salaries aren't great, it was consistent.
Yes.
So all I would say is that you're never going to be ready. You're never going to be ready. You're never going to have enough information, enough of a cush fund. It's a new experience and something new is going to come out of it. And the longer you hang on to where you are, it's going to slow down where you want to be. So just go. Just go. Be ready as much as you can because you can't really prepare for the unknown.
What really surprised you? You said that you made a lot of mistakes that you wish you hadn't. Yeah. Probably why you are teaching and mentoring so much now.
Yes,
a big heart. I always when I say things to someone, I say I know this from experience. I made that mistake on TV. I don't want you to make it too. And it seems like you feel the same way. You want to share that knowledge.
Absolutely, because I feel like my personal path in entrepreneurship was very bumpy and it wasn't well lit. However, the surprising thing is that there were people there and I could have asked. And I think that this idea of being an independent woman possibly made it a little bit more difficult because there's this sense of pride where I was like, okay, I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out.
But asking is figuring out.
Yeah, 100%. Yes, and I think this is also why I want to light the path and make it, I do business tips of the day and I try to give as much as I possibly can to give hope to those people that are out there maybe feeling a little lost.
How did the experience with Fair Trade go versus Amor Collective when you'd had a decade or so of experience underneath you?
Night and day.
Really?
Night and day. Yes. So, I mean, that knowledge and those experiences, it's, kind of like, oh, I remember this feeling and I know what to do. And having the resources and the people and knowing who to call. I mean, that's a huge part of it. The Amor Collective was such a good experience, from building it out to launching the brand campaign, growing after 3 months, bringing on an additional 15 businesses. Like, it's all just been, I'm not going to say easy. It's not easy. However, there's just this muscle memory that just kicks in.
Right. Experience.
Yeah.
Good old-fashioned experience, right?
Yes.
Oh, that old thing. You said you give business tips. Give us a business tip. What was today's or your most recent?
Oh my gosh, can we do a business tip?
Yeah,
okay.
of course.
Logan, are you ready?
No, Logan. Oh, okay. And then we'll ask about Logan because we got to. Logan's here, and who is Logan? Tell me.
So Logan takes care of all the video and the photography for my personal brand.
Okay.
So when I go places like this, Logan's looking through the calendar. He's like, I'll be there.
Awesome. All right, go ahead. I'll just
ready?
Take it away.
Business tip of the day. This is going to come twofold. Always be ready for the camera, and don't be afraid to invest in yourself. Just like
Quick
that.
and easy, but yet good.
Short,
Yes.
palatable, yes.
I've definitely learned from hanging out with other people who have a camera. I mean, everyone's got a camera, right?
Yes.
You have to be ready all the time because all of a sudden, it's on you, babe. Hey, or how am I going to respond? Or I'm going to go, you know what I mean? How are you going to be responding?
Yes.
So be camera ready and be ready, period. Stay ready.
Just saying, this morning it was funny because I was putting on my lashes. Yeah. And I told Nadia, I put on the wrong ones. And she looks and she's like, no, those are good. Those are good.
Thank you for the data expert. But you do these tips and you work on your personal brand. Why do you think that social media, the video, pushing stuff out so much is so important to business owners now?
Yeah. So I'd say I shied away from it.
Did you?
Yeah, until just recently, 2 years ago. I just, was looking at the business and we've got a great product. Like, everything was in line. However, what I was noticing is that I wasn't sharing. It's this old habit of mine of just kind of like sitting back and just flowing with. However, there's certain times where you've got to put your brand out there. And I said, for a year, I'm really going to focus on marketing the business, the nonprofit, and me personally. And so this is where Logan jumped in, and he and I were able, I met him, and 2 days later we started working together, and he just really pushed the brand, my personal brand. And that's what I needed, because I want to be here with you. I don't want to have to worry about setting up a tripod and getting content and then going back and editing. So, Logan truly is a huge part of building my brand.
Right. Thank you, Logan. He touches his heart. So what is your personal brand, Stephanie?
Well, it's just sharing with people the authenticity and the real life of a business owner, because a lot of times you see like the glamorous parts, you'll see the pictures and this and that, and not see some of behind the scenes. Yeah. So also the importance of it for me was marrying all of them, that showing and really showcasing that, Stephanie, yes, I'm a mama. Yes, I'm a business owner. Yes, I'm a founder of a nonprofit. Just sharing all those different things. And as a woman, you can be all of those things and showing.
And busy. So how do you manage your time?
I live by my calendar. Yeah. Like I really do have to put everything in, be very organized, and then I attempt to be as present as I possibly can. Last night was soccer practice. It's my week. It's my week to carpool. So I'm picking up all the boys and I'm going to soccer practice and I'm being there. Yeah.
And enjoying being there.
Yes.
Yeah, no doubt.
Most of the time.
Yes. Hopefully it was nice and sunny and whatnot. Nice. So I like to ask on this podcast, what are you loving in Arizona? What are you eating? What are you drinking? What are you doing? What are you loving in Arizona right now? Your hometown.
I'm loving all of the above. The weather is so beautiful right now. So this is patio dining season. I am a local junkie. I love local restaurants. So just recently I went to Pala in downtown Phoenix. They have jazz on, I think, like Thursday through Sundays. Yeah. Super swanky, cool restaurant.
And very close to the Footprint Center.
Yes. Yes, so that's walkable.
Yeah, so it's a great place in case you're going to a concert or a Suns game.
Yeah, I love downtown. Like there's this beat about downtown. So really just kind of going from place to place and exploring.
Is there anything new happening on Roosevelt Row that's interesting, intriguing?
Well, right now it's all the street festivals because of the weather. Like this is event season. So really put on your walking shoes, find a good parking spot, and just go and explore because now is when everyone's coming out.
What about that Mercado? So does that Mercado still run?
Yes. So we are in Goodyear a few times this year. You really just kind of have to follow our website or if you're on social media to kind of see where we're at. This weekend, we're in Maryvale. It's the first time that we've been able to program my community. So I'm very excited to go back to Maryvale.
How do we follow?
So Mujeres Mercado and azea.org. You can go to Amor Collective. We're on Instagram, Facebook. We all have, and it's all interlinked. So if you find one, you're going to find them all.
Find them all. Mm-hmm. All right. What do you do to rest? How do you rest or decompress?
That's a good one. So meditation's a big thing for me. And also strength training. I love the gym is that time.
Yeah. Lifting those weights.
Yeah. Letting it all out.
Anything else you want the people to know about you?
Oh, the importance of just supporting local.
Yeah.
Just support local and be kind to each other.
I think that people like to say, oh, a native, can I shake your hand? You're so rare. But I think that there are so many people who moved away and they're coming back home. And I think Arizona is starting to really grab onto that local appreciation and joy. I think during COVID, you realized you needed your neighbors. And as businesses, we need each other so much. And it's just so great to see you leading the way when it comes to education. And that day that we did that live shot together, you could tell there was nervous energy. We had, I don't know, maybe 20 ladies in there. Maybe you hadn't done live TV before. And you took the women together. And you said, let's have a grounding moment. And I just thought, wow, what a leader, what a teacher. And it was just beautiful to see the way you are with how your love. Your love.
Yeah, absolutely. Really lead with your heart and it'll be successful.
All right. Be ready to shop because you're going to find gold.
Everywhere you go, make sure you bring your wallet.
Stephanie Vasquez, thank you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thanks for listening to Jaime's Local Love, the podcast. I'm your host, Jaime Serreta. Our technician is Tom Heidinger. Our editors are Lorraine Shearing and Gina Coy. Do you know a business worthy of some local love? Email me at jserreta@azfamily.com. Follow us at facebook.com/Serreta and Instagram @Serreta News. Make sure to subscribe and give us a 5-star review, please. And tell your friends about the podcast and the businesses we feature to show your local love. You can find us on Apple, YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music, and anywhere you get your podcasts.
Jaime's Local Love, an Arizona's Family Originals podcast.